Welcome to That American Football Show, powered by EP Sports. EP Sports is one of the top suppliers in the UK for all your NFL or equipment needs. Check them out today at epsports.co.uk. Craig repping the ting there as well. Today we enter into a new age of That American Football Show. For our regular listeners, you may be expecting us to go over some news and then review all the games of the past week and coming week. We did some soul searching on the pods, realized when we kind of began podcasting, we were just having fun and talking football, and it's moved away from that a little bit. So we plan on going back to the original format and just having some more fun. And hopefully all agree that it's going to lead to more fun with you guys listening as well. But enough of that. Let's get out of the way and move on to some news as we go into this. So past 2-3 weeks here, because obviously we've not been recording. And then we're going to move into our mid-season special, where we're going to be creating like a live power rankings, predicting some of our seedings for the playoffs. And we all did this last week, so we've all had to quickly update our information. So hopefully we're all right on that. And we're also going to have our updated Super Bowl winners, which I'm sure we've all moved pretty far away from what we originally picked. Plus bigger surprises for the season. So that'll be a fun one to go over. But let's talk about some news first. And Tim, this one's pretty near and dear to your heart. So, the coin, the legendary Raiders coin.
The coin. The legend of the coin is over.
It let me down hard. I'm sad. I'm disappointed, but it was fun while it lasted.
A field goal away from the coin remaining undefeated.
You swear robbed the 3 seconds on the clock.
Robbed the 3 seconds on the clock. Dodgy roughing the passer call, a missed pass interference call that would have set us up for a winning field goal. The coin was robbed, but the coin still could be right for an overall prediction. I doubt it because it said 10-7, but the coin was a fun ride while it lasted.
There was a tug on the shirt, wasn't there?
Yeah.
1 in 2,048 chance someone figured it out to be, so that's pretty impressive nonetheless. And I mean, you can argue if Washington deserved that win, but yeah, I know a lot of Raiders fans are now like, okay, it's the reverse coin, which is fine. And it's now predicting all your losses are wins, which means you go like 11 and 3.
Yeah, I'll be right.
Has this coin been checked out? Like, was there multiple coins?
I know someone flipped it on
paper.
The coin, the original post was pre-season. So I saw the original post. It's not like all of a sudden this picture's appeared and it's like, look, I've got 7 right. It was done pre-season and I saw it originally on Reddit. It says a weighted coin, which I don't know what that means. Anyway, so the coin, it was posted, it was legitimate. And some of the weird, like beating the Cowboys, no one in their right mind would have predicted that pre-season. And some of the losses, you're like, there's no way we're going to lose that game to the Bears or the Giants. But the coin predicted them all. And it's been fun. It's better than watching the football.
RIP to the coin.
Yeah.
Second bit of news. I mean, it's not really news, but I think it's something we should talk about. The taunting penalties against some of the more ridiculous, aggressive moves that are not getting taught. Like the biggest one recently was Cam Hayward literally punching Justin Herbert in the gut.
Yeah.
And there was literally nothing about it. And then was it Clyde Edwards-Helaire who, as he was running into the end zone, just pointed at someone, and that was a 10K fine. And everyone's just going, oh, the horror of my son seeing a man point at someone.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's just, it's almost like priorities are completely off. Taunting, like emotions are high. It's a sport. Like, what do you want to do? Like people to contain themselves? I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it at all.
No. Let them celebrate. Like, as long as, you know what I mean, let them have a bit of fun. If it's not doing if it's not over the top or it's not like in an aggressive way or that sort of thing, then just let it happen.
As long as they're not
part of the game.
Teabagging. Even then, like, I like it, especially when it's like rival teams. Like, I like it when they start like dissing each other because it creates the rivalry even more exciting.
It's hostile. Like, hostility is quite a big part in sport, and if you don't have
reason,
that,
like, one of the biggest highlights ever is Terrell Owens running to the Cowboy star. Like, it's rivalries, like it's fun, it's competitive, and that's what everyone's doing.
That's just funny because the Cowboys are so precious about everything. Oh, you can't run onto our precious star. Ooh. Even when you go on a stadium tour, you can go anywhere on the Cowboys field, but you can't go on the star.
Is this?
I mean, go on.
Is that like a genuine?
Yeah.
Thing like they properly protect the star. Is it because
the star's called
Star
off?
of Texas?
So you can walk in the end zones. You can go anywhere in the whole stadium, in the change rooms, everywhere you want. But if you go anywhere, you can't go anywhere near the star.
What if you accidentally walk on it?
We've got security guards there.
just in a star shape around it.
Yeah. I thought it was in a rebel because when I did the tour, I didn't know you could go on the field. So I saw the security guard go away, and I thought, I'm going to run on the field out. Said to my wife, take a picture. I'll go running on the field. And I ran on. I was like, took a photo, and the guy was like, oh. I was like, oh no. He's like, have you been in the change rooms yet? I was like, sorry. He goes, the change rooms are over there. I was like, oh, so do I walk around? He's like, no, just walk across the field. I was like, oh, this is amazing. It was really good. It was really good.
And to put on a tinfoil hat, the league has recently gone into partnership with multiple betting sites. Like if you've watched any NFL, you understand like it's already everywhere, like DraftKings stats and all this nonsense. And you can there's been a lot of games that the officiating may not be statistically true, but it definitely feels worse this year because they can just call these asinine penalties to complete. Like there's been some games that are legitimately they're like the Raiders game that like they literally go, yeah, that's a flag. Why? He looked at that. What was really bad was at the Bears Broncos game or the Bears Summit game where that player literally looked at the other sideline and they flagged it.
Yeah. It was the one where the referee actually ran into the player, and you could see it wasn't accidental. He moved and knocked the player and then flagged him for it. And it's like, I think I'm not as much a conspiracy theorist as Adam. I just think the referee's been piss poor. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody's at it. But you watch some of the games and look at some of I'm not being ageist here, but some of the referees are really old and they cannot keep up with the game. So they're reacting afterwards to what players are shouting. So if they're going, oh, hold him, and then this old referee's running up and didn't see it and just goes, oh, it must be, so throws the flag afterwards. In one of the Raiders game, I'm sure the guy's had a fantastic career as a referee, but he had to go off at half time because he was dehydrated. This is a game where people are getting paid millions, and these referees are not fit enough. Then they should be recruiting younger referees and not just sons of former referees. But I think they need to look at refereeing altogether.
Yeah, that's a whole different box of frogs, isn't it? Because there's the people want the NFL to just pay referees, but the refs union is very strong, and I don't really understand the intricacies of it. Best bit of news from the past weeks is the Lions have finally won a game. I saw it was 364 days since their last win, so they literally did it by the day. And oh my god, what a I'm pretty sure everyone was watching that game because it was like the end of it was really late into the first round of games. So it was like everyone had caught the end of it. And my god, that was an exciting turn of events. Like Jared Goff sprinting over to just hug Dan. Like, oh, it was absolutely amazing game.
Do you know the stupidest soundbite out of all of that was Jared Goff's first win without Sean McVay as his coach. All right, Patrick Mahomes has never won a game where Andy Reid wasn't his coach. How fucking stupid.
It's people almost as acting as if Sean McVay is the reason why Jared Goff won loads of games. No, Jared Goff went from a decent situation to a really shit situation. That's why he hasn't won a game yet.
At the same time, Sean McVay does seem he's got the chops. I'm a bit worried the Rams might have him under lock and key for years to come. Okay, final bit of news. Of course, our man, Mr. Big Chest, Antonio Brown, and two other books, including someone called Mike Edwards, that's definitely not Mike Evans, have been suspended for 3 weeks because they faked COVID vaccination passes, which is hilarious because it was all leaked by a chef that Antonio Brown didn't pay. So the chef was like, no, I'm just going to snitch on you.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown is such an upstanding human being, though, isn't he? He pays all his bills and he's nice to everyone. Good. I'm glad. I did read something that the Bucks might get rid of him because Bruce Arians said that he's on his last chance. if anything goes, they're signing them. When they signed him, they said, if anything happens, he's out. So if Arians is true to his word, he should be out the door.
But they're so close to playoffs.
I don't know. I think they keep him.
I agree. Him and Tom
Brady likes him.
Yeah,
He'll say as little as possible, try and sweep it under the rug, and I think he'll stay. I don't think they'll get rid of him. I get what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying, but I think he's worth too much of them at the minute.
I just can't stand him. I hope he gets unemployed and never works in the NFL again.
I wonder why that is.
The thing is, though, it's almost the NFL had to hit him hard, though, because it's almost embarrassing for the NFL that they managed to get
3 games.
Yeah. Well, 3 games is still, especially at this end of the season, it's quite a. But they managed to get completely under the radar from the NFL and kind of juked them big time. So, yeah, you wonder how many other players have done it and are secretly, not going to protocol and whatever.
Aaron Rodgers.
Well, his was different. Yeah, his was different because he did the NFL and the Packers knew his status and he did everything that an unvaccinated player did, but he just didn't tell the media because he didn't want the grief, essentially.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound like, I know that is what happened. That sounds such bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like the NFL does not want to suspend one of its big time players who could be
absolutely not.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
So, but if he was following all the protocols and everyone knew what was happening, etc., why bother lying? Just say he's unvaccinated, he's following all the protocols. Not do that whole I'm immunized bullshit that he did.
Yeah, he did. He dug himself a hole. I understand his point where he was like, I didn't want, because he did say it was a witch hunt at the time. He was like, I just didn't want to get involved. I get that, but yeah, saying he's immunized, and misleading the public wasn't a smart idea.
It's funny, but it's not. It is a smart way of doing it. Just I can't be asked to deal with it, but just do a little white lie.
Yeah.
I do relate with that. Yeah.
So there's just a couple of points I want to make before we move on from news and stuff. So since the last time we spoke, November 22nd, 9 years ago, 2012, the anniversary of the Bull fumble. People never forget. Right. Second thing, Scott Hansen, right? The man, fair play, came out and someone asked him how we get through on a Sunday night. And I think I'm paraphrasing here, but it was something like he dehydrates all day before the game, goes for a pee, and then has to have the willpower of a ninja for 7 hours. Fair play to the guy, that's some going. But in all seriousness, did you see? I was just wondering what your opinions were on. Did you see the controversy of the Kerry Pickett, who plays the QB for Pitt with the fake slide?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just wondering where you guys stand on that. I have my opinion, but
I know who he is, but I don't know anything about the incident.
Do you want to
Craig? So there was a particular play where he's grabbed the ball and he tucks it and he runs. He's getting chased by a couple of defenders, and then he goes to imitate a slide. So the defenders slow down, they stop as if because you can't hit a sliding QB. Yeah. But he doesn't actually slide. He fakes a slide and then keeps running and gains a few extra yards and then slides. Now, there's a lot of people who are kicking off who were saying, look, this rule was brought in to enforce safety and defenders can't hit a QB that is going to slide. So they're pulling back and stopping in the concerns of safety and don't want to get flagged. But now what he's doing is he's creating doubt in these defenders' heads where what are they supposed to do? They're stuck in between a rock and a hard place. They can keep chasing them and risk hitting them, but then getting flagged. Or they can stop and this guy's faking a slide and then he burns them. I don't know. Is it fair? Is it not fair? If he's going to fake a slide and still gets nailed, then is it his own fault? You know what I mean?
I agree with the fact that he shouldn't have done it in the first place because you're right. It's taken advantage of a law of the game now. So absolutely. But what should happen though, and it seems like it was officiated incorrectly, and the refs could probably look out for it now, is the minute he goes to slide, even if he's faking it, that's where he's down. Because you want the second you give yourself up, that's where it stops. So if you're faking a slide and you drag your foot for a second, you're starting to slide. So that's where they should cut it. And if he goes off and gets a touchdown, they go, you're back down here. You faked a slide. You still try to slide. They gave themselves up. That's how I think if they thought about it now, that's how they should be officiating moving forward. Because you're right. If they are abusing a mechanic of the game, it gets ridiculous for defense to have to play by the rules soon.
But then how do you declare that he's giving himself up? Like, at what point is it okay? He's not just trying to juke someone, or he's not like slipped or tripped or something. He's actually giving himself up because nothing's gone down, nothing's on the floor. Like, I don't know. Where's that? Where'd you draw that line?
It's the same as saying it's a football move, though. Like, I guess you'd have to go back to instant replay, and if it does look like they tripped over their foot and slid, and then they get back up, that's fine. But if you see them go in a little slide with their foot, and you see defenders actively kind of way up, and then they run off, you're like, no, down.
See, I don't know. I just don't agree with the rule. I think as soon as he passes the line of scrimmage, he is a runner. He is fair game. If you want to nail him, you should be able to just nail him, because at that point he's past the line of scrimmage. He's a runner. I don't agree with the fact that this one particular guy, as important as his position is, should have one rule for him and one rule for everyone else. If it was a receiver or a running back or anyone else, he would be fair game.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think fair play to the guy for understanding that he could do that and wouldn't get penalised in doing it, but the rule's all wrong. If you're going to slide, because it's not fair on defenders, because they're like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to hit him? Is he a runner? Is he a quarterback? Do we just let him go then? What are defenders supposed to do? It's just one of those stupid rules.
Yeah.
Like you said, Craig, second you cross the line of scrimmage, you're a runner, you're not a quarterback.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, there's still the laws like don't lead with your head, don't aim for the heads.
Yeah.
But like, why can a quarterback slide and give himself up and get these special rules?
I don't know the answer to this one. So if a running back or a receiver goes under center or in a wildcat, so he's the quarterback in that move and he runs, can he slide? Or does he have to be wearing a quarterback number?
Any player can slide, can't they?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I thought any player could
I think
give
any player
themselves
can
up.
slide, just running backs and receivers don't.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone other than a
fair.
quarterback slide.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone other than a QB slide personally. I don't know if any player can do it.
Only time you see it is when they're like running down the clock and they get to like the 10 yards, they just slide down.
If anyone out there knows the answer to that question,
fair play.
No. Yeah, I did see that. That was a good point. Bring it up. Couple of injuries to rattle off. I won't go through all of them, but some of the bigger names. Tre'Davious White, Bills defensive, pretty much their best defensive player, and you've seen it, the result. He tore his ACL. He's out for the season. That was, I think, 3 games back. McCaffrey's out for the season with an ankle issue. Dalvin Cook's somewhere up in the air with a shoulder issue. Jamal Adams has just done his shoulder, so he's out for the season. What a terrible trade that has turned out to be. So just for, if anyone can't remember, I think it was 2 first-round picks, should I say, and the Seahawks are 4-8 right now, so the Jets are getting a very nice pick out of that. And they had to sign Jamal Adams to a huge contract, and Jamal Adams is playing like shit, and Jamal Adams is now injured.
Yeah, his stats have been awful as well. Is it like 1 interception or something this season? Like before it's just not great, not worth it at all.
I think he's the 90th ranked safety right now.
Yeah, the Jets got an absolute bargain out of that.
I would not, if I was a GM, be making any blockbuster trades like that. Because even the Stafford one, you've got to say the Stafford one, was that worth what they gave up for him as well? So these blockbuster trades.
Ramsey works though.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And I think the Rams are doing it. They are absolutely buying into their game of we will just draft. We won't draft and we will just trade. And you're getting some hits. And yeah, you are getting some misses. Final injury as well. Important for Washington, who are trying to go on a spree. Logan Thomas is now out for the season with a knee injury. Yannick Ngakoue had a pretty nasty, dirty hit on him. I don't know if you saw it, Tim.
I know what you're talking about.
You missed someone off your list. Marlon Humphreys. Again, another cornerback. That was why, apparently, because I was watching that game and I'm tearing my hair out and I'm thinking, we've just done all this hard work, last second comeback, and we go for 2. We went for 2 because Marlon Humphreys went out and we had no cornerbacks, so we had no choice. If we'd have gone to over time, there's a pretty good possibility they would have just threw the ball on us, and that would have been the end of it anyway. So I get the risk in that sense, but yeah, it's going to be with the tough schedule that the Ravens have got, it's going to be a rough end to the season, I think.
Yeah. Talking about dirty plays as well, Kenyan Drake's out for the season. Did anyone see the hit on Kenyan Drake?
That was nasty.
That was nasty.
Oh, it was like he complained about that type of tackling, wasn't it?
So it's basically his legs were stuck under one defender, another one came in and hit him. So he kind of went back over himself. Didn't look good. It wasn't good.
Yeah, but again, we were talking about callbacks. When you try and take away that type of tackle, it then dissuades the big defensive tackle. Is the minute one person's on them, everyone just swarm on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, a couple of injuries there. Anyway, Ashley, should we chat about our predictions? We need to have a segment for it.
We do. I literally just opened it because I thought, predictions may come up because we've missed 2 weeks on the pod.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. Has been any lead changes? We've definitely all been kind of catching up to each other.
No, it's still really close. So overall, just give you the overall picture quickly. Joe's on 139. I've made up a bit of ground the last few weeks. I'm now on 136. Craig is on 131, and sorry, I missed Adam. Adam's on 134. Craig's on 131. So still really close. All we need to do is somebody please get a bold prediction right.
Craig got his this week.
I got one through the week.
Oh, did you? Oh,
I did.
Craig, well done.
Yeah. We've had one.
My one about aliens didn't come through.
Yeah.
I haven't. Go on.
So I was just working out. I think it's 52 bold predictions we've done, and one's come in.
It's like trying to pick the right card in the deck of cards. Sweet. But yeah, I mean, we've all been consistently getting like one game a week. Someone just needs to get a big week in and push out.
Yeah, I think last week we all got at least one correct score.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So next we are doing our mid-season special. So we've got a rough plan. We're going to be pretty much making it up as we go along.
As always.
So we've all brought like a quasi power rankings with us, and we are going to make a live TAFS power ranking for where are we doing teams as they are currently right now?
Yeah.
Is someone going to write this down?
I can. I will.
It's all right. I've got a sheet of paper here with a bit of space. I can write it down.
Yeah.
And when we're editing it, we'll put it on the screen as well.
That was our usual. Look for a volunteer. Shut up until Joe says something. Thanks, Joe.
Then we are going to do some seeding for the playoffs because I'm sure everyone's is wrong from pre-season. We can look back at that as well. Going to see who we've got into our Super Bowl at this point because I think everyone's changed their teams, at least I have. And then we're also going to talk about our surprise of the season. It doesn't have to be specifically like a team or anything. It can just be something to do with the league. But with that said, let's just get started. Tim, Ashley, how do we want to do this? Should we go? It would probably be boring just to go through one by one, or we're probably going to have to though at some point. Should we just go through each position and who we think should be in it?
Yeah, if we do like first place, like who have we got, and we just work out, we just vote who should be number one.
Do you want to go bottom up?
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
Yeah, do that.
Craig knows how to create tension.
Yeah. Go on.
Who's everyone got for their bottom then? Because I'm tempted to move, man, but I don't think I should.
Texans.
Okay. I've got Jags.
I've got Lions.
Ooh.
I'd happily put Texans there though. I think Jags are better than you think, Craig. They beat the Bills and the Titans.
No, I disagree. I genuinely think right now that I think the Lions have been unfortunate. I think the Texans can be feisty if they actually show up. I genuinely think that this Jags team, from what I've watched as well, is the worst team in the NFL right now.
Craig's got a good point in the fact that their 2 wins have come from that game against Miami when Miami were at their very worst in London, and against the Bills when the Bills just played their worst game in about 4 years.
They nearly beat the Colts as well, like 3 weeks ago.
Their entire team is based on just Trevor Lawrence trying to throw balls. That's it. Like that's their whole offense. He just gets. That's it. They've got.
Which coach do you trust more to build the franchise then, Craig? Urban Meyer or David Colley?
God.
Neither. I know it got to the point where halfway through the season, they were umming and ahhing about whether Urban Meyer wanted out.
I thought it was like week 2, was it not?
I mean, I'll agree with Texans if we want to go with Texans.
We're doing a majority.
Yeah, we've got a majority vote, so we'll roll with that. So Texans are 32. Okay, I'll write that down.
Okay, number 31.
Okay, so at 31, I had Texans. So since Texans aren't there, I'm again going to go with Jags.
I had Lions.
I had Lions, but I think I'm going to swap them around. I'm going to go Jags.
I agree. Now that we've had that conversation, I think Jags.
Yeah, I'll happily put the Jags below the Lions.
So Lions 30 then.
Yes. Yeah. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
They're the worst 3.
That's the bottom tier right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, Jags, Texans, and Lions fans.
Yeah.
But hey, we've got high draft picks.
Okay, then 29. Who have we got?
I've gone a bit low for this team. I think they had a good week last week, but that's because the NFC West loves to scrap it out. I've got the Seahawks here.
Ooh, that's rough.
I thought I had them low, but I haven't got them that low.
No, I haven't got them that low.
I'm saying low, but I'm not.
Last week when they just got battered by, I can't remember who.
I've got the Jets.
I've also got the Jets.
I've also got the Jets.
Okay. I'll succeed.
28 is sorry, anyone listening in New York. I've got the Giants.
Yeah, so do I.
I've got the Jets here.
Okay, I've got the Bears here.
Ooh.
Okay.
I think Daniel Jones could be out for an extended period of time. Yeah. I know Mike Glennon's starting at least another week.
I thought Jake Fromm.
Concussion.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, it's Jake Fromm.
He's in concussion. So it's going
to be Jake right Fromm. Now the Giants are truly shit.
Yeah, I had Giants one above, on the next spot above, so I could agree with the Giants around here. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I don't know who said it about 27. I've got the Bears.
I had the Bears just below the Giants.
I have the Bears here, but I've still got Seattle down there, boys.
Right. Okay.
So
Tim, are you about to say what I think you're about to say? Because I've got Seattle next.
I've got Seattle 6.
I think we've had the exact same list so far.
Can I argue right now? Oh shit! No, the Bears. Okay. Who the Bears starting right now? Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
So I've got the Seahawks 2 spots above this one. I've got 2 teams just below the Seahawks. So I've got next up, I had the Falcons, and then just above them, I had the Panthers, and then Seahawks.
You're all so close to what I've got.
They're the 2 teams I've got next after the Seahawks, Craig.
Okay, so you all want to agree the Seahawks is next.
Hang on. So what are the teams we're debating here? Because if we're doing this, I think we should do who would.
If we've all got the same 3 teams, we may as well debate the spots. I guess.
Yeah, is this for 26? Yeah,
26. Yeah. So I have it: 26 Falcons, 25 Panthers, 24 Seahawks.
Oh wait, have we agreed the Bears is 27 then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Have you got them a lot higher?
I've got them there. But what I would say is, if the Seahawks had to play the Bears, I think the Bears would beat them at this point.
Ooh, I kind of agree, but I don't know. I
know the Bears are also injured as well. So I'll agree, but I think the Giants would beat the Seahawks. The Giants' defense is good, like it is. The offense is woeful. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Jake Fromm, Galladay's out, Kadarius is probably out.
Problem is, this region is such a shit show. Like, it's just very difficult.
Should we do process elimination then? So if we kind of leave the Giants and the Bears in the lurch there, and the Seahawks, how would you do Panthers and Falcons? Like, I think Panthers are better than the Falcons.
I agree just slightly.
I've got the other way around. I've got Falcons above the Panthers.
You know what? From this list now, thinking about it, I would also probably put Falcons above the Panthers.
I'm going to change my mind and agree with them.
Yeah, I'll agree with Falcons above Panthers.
Yeah.
So what number are we on? 26?
It depends if you're wanting to include Bears and Giants again or not, because Giants are 28, Bears are 27.
Giants are 28, Bears are 27.
Yeah.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so that leaves us Falcons, Panthers, and Seahawks. Okay.
I go Panthers, Seahawks, Falcons.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think that's fair.
So Panthers 26, then Seahawks, then Falcons.
Yeah.
And then I think everyone will have the same team here as well.
I don't know if I will.
I got
And this spot was between two.
I've got the Saints here.
I've got the Saints as well.
Saints for me.
I've got Saints here as well, to be fair.
Well, there we go.
But it was between two.
Yeah, the Saints, like I think they're the most injured team right now.
Yeah,
they are just be brutal.
Was it QB1, QB? Oh no, not QB2. RB1, wide receiver 1.
Their left tackles out, and then they've had a bunch of other minor injuries as well throughout the season.
Yeah, they're just
But yeah, I mean, they were in the playoffs with Jameis. He gets injured, 5-game losing streak. Like I think that's their first 5-game losing streak under Sean Payton as well.
And he's still doing a good job.
Sean Payton's like a cracking coach. I don't know if he's good. Right. Who have we all got above the Saints then?
I've gone Broncos.
I've got Steelers.
I've got Vikings.
Vikings.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm so high on the Vikings.
I've got Vikings in the spot above. I've got Broncos and Vikings.
I've got Vikings at 16.
I'm with a bit of Joe here. I've got Vikings at 13.
Whoa!
That's very high.
Prior to a Lions loss, but
yeah, I was going to say I had them a lot higher before the Lions loss.
But yeah, I've got above the Saints. We're doing. I've got Broncos then Steelers. So I'm kind of.
I've got Broncos and Steelers in those positions.
I think Tim.
Okay, should we take the Broncos then?
Crazy food.
Yeah, let's put the Broncos down. Yeah,
let's put the Broncos at 22.
Yeah, we can.
Especially what Drew Lock's starting now, isn't he? Is he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
okay.
Yeah.
So 21, I've gone Vikings.
So Broncos, that's my number 5 seed out then.
You guys Tim and Craig, you're saying you put the Vikings below the Steelers.
Yeah.
They're playing tomorrow night, so that'll be a big litmus test.
Is it Vikings Steelers?
Mm-hmm. Thursday night football.
Shows that I'm consistent because I've got the Vikings. Hang on, what have I got? I got winning that game. Let's have a look.
I can't even remember if I've got winning that game, to be honest.
I got the Vikings winning.
Yeah, same. Craig, got Steelers.
Oh no, I've gone Steelers.
I don't really say your team's bad right now, Craig, but the offense on that game was not nice.
No, it wasn't.
So we're working out number 22, right?
21.
Sorry, we went Broncos 22.
Yeah, Broncos 22, 21.
Have we gone Falcons, Saints, Broncos?
Yeah.
We'll do when we get the number 16, because that's about halfway. We'll do a recap.
Yeah.
Okay, so who have you got then? If me and Tim have got Vikings around this area, who have you got?
I had Steelers.
Okay, what about you, Adam?
I got Steelers as well.
Okay.
I've got Raiders at 21.
I have the Vikings above the 16 point.
I've got Steelers of 14, so I've got Steelers much higher.
Oh, you and me are the flips.
This team is starting. If you watch this Steelers team, it's as crap as they've been through up until this point. They are slowly getting better, and I think they're starting to roll at a good time. And I think ultimately they're going to take that division.
I just think Vikings have those games where they do look absolute dog shit, but then they can put it up against hard teams and win. Like they have got, like Justin Jefferson's so good. Kirk Cousins is a very undervalued player. Their head coach is pretty shitty. I'll give you that. I think Zim Zam's on his way out.
Yeah,
their defense can do it as well.
They are just that inconsistent team. Like they beat the Packers, then they lost to the Lions. Like it doesn't make any sense. So I think they are more in that middle sort of. I wouldn't have them this low.
Tied the Lions.
Okay, well, so a couple of the teams out here I've got around this area then to see if we can come to some kind of agreement. Yeah. Okay, I've also got the Browns, the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I got the Dolphins slightly higher because they're on
I got Dolphins at 20, but I think they could be higher.
I've got them at 19.
I've got them at 19. 15.
And I think the Dolphins would beat the Steelers and the But the Vikings, I don't know. I think the Dolphins and Vikings are about level thinking about it.
So my next five I've got Vikings at 21, Browns at 20, Dolphins at 19, Eagles at 18, Washington at 17.
I have all those teams in a different order.
So I've got 21, I've got the Raiders, 20 Eagles, 19 I had the Broncos, 18 Browns, 17 Steelers, and 16 Washington.
Okay. I've got from 21? I had 21 now Steelers, 20 Washington, 19 Dolphins, 18 Raiders, 17 Browns.
I love how high you are on the Eagles, Joe. I've not heard that no more.
They're fairly high actually.
I've got Steelers at 21, Dolphins at 20, but I'm happy to move that up thinking about it. Eagles at 19, Washington at 18, Browns at 17. So we've all got Browns just below.
Yeah.
I think the Browns are 17 then, 17, 18.
Yeah, let's put the Browns in at 17 then.
Okay.
And then go back.
Well, do we want to put the Vikings in here? That's the
where'd the Vikings fit in then?
I'd agree with Steelers Vikings. I think they are in the same tier thinking about it, but I feel like the Vikings would beat them.
So you think Steelers 21, Vikings 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, happy with that.
And then in and around that area, we had Washington, Dolphins, and the Raiders, right? And you guys had the Eagles as well.
I've got Dolphins, Eagles next.
But like, I'd put the Raiders. I'd swap the Dolphins and the Raiders probably on my list right now if I could.
Next week, if the Dolphins played the Raiders, the Dolphins would win.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'd happily put the Raiders in this area.
So 19 for the Raiders.
Okay, I had them higher, but I had Raiders 15, but
I had Raiders 15 as well, Craig. I think it wasn't a great showing last week though.
No, but they still have a lot. I think people forget how good Derek Carr's been, and they still have a lot of good weapons on that team. Renfro's been great. I know that from fantasy. He's been pulling me out of holes.
You are right. Yeah. They are good.
When did you last watch Derek Carr? Derek Carr was dreadful. This is the frustrating thing with I'm not going to go on a very long rant, but it's going to be a short one. Derek Carr's so frustrating because he has really good games and he can play. And in other games, I don't know if it's play calling or what, but he just does the little dump off passes, which make his stats look good. But he's not been good second half of the season. Anyway.
So the teams we've got, we're trying to fit into 19 and 18, and the teams we are discussing is Raiders, Eagles, Washington. Is that right?
Yeah.
So who do we think out of those three deserves to be above the Browns?
I think Eagles personally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say out of that bunch, the Eagles. I mean, I had Washington originally above the Eagles, but I would probably argue from what I've seen from the Eagles that they've got more of an upside than Washington. I think they've got the higher ceiling.
Yeah, you can put me at 16. That's fine, boys.
Okay, so we've got.
Who's at 18 then?
Washington.
I'll take Washington at 18.
Yep.
Raiders at 19.
Browns 17, and then we've got Eagles at 16.
Should we do a quick recap then? Because that's the 16 done.
Yeah, it got messy towards the end.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be like that. The start was easy. The middle's going to be a mess. I think the top might be a bit of a mess. But anyway, so we've got 32 Texans, 31 Jags, 30 Lions, 29 Jets, 28 Giants, 27 Bears. Then it's 26 Panthers, 25 Seahawks, 24. What does that say? Oh, Falcons. 23 Saints, 22 Broncos, 21 Steelers, 20 Vikings, 19 Raiders, 18 Washington football team, 17 Browns, 16 Eagles. Does anyone want to have an argument that somebody's in the wrong place? Or everyone happy?
I think that's decent.
Yep.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I've been writing it down as well. I may as well stop. I didn't know I was writing it down.
So I think the next tier is kind of because I've got the Dolphins, who I think should be moved. I'll swap them. I'm pretending I'm swapping them with the Raiders then. The next two I would have is 49ers, Dolphins.
I've got 49ers and Dolphins next. I've got 49ers, 14, Dolphins, 15.
Since the rejig, yeah, I've got 49ers, Dolphins as the next two teams.
I've got Bengals and Chargers, my next two.
That's pretty
low, which is quite low. But I've got 49ers at 12, but I had Dolphins at 19.
So I've got the Bengals and Chargers after these two.
Yeah, I think 49ers should come down after that loss to Seahawks. So yeah.
I've got I got Chargers, Bengals. I think the Bengals they just beat them. No, they just lost to them, but I still think Bengals are the more complete team. Like, I think if the Bengals were going to play a team, they have a higher chance of winning than the Chargers.
So we're happy with Dolphins at 15, 49ers at 14 then?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so next argument is Bengals and
I'd
Chargers.
take the 49ers over the Dolphins.
So
it's now between Chargers and Bengals, isn't it?
Yeah.
I get Adam's point, but the fact the Chargers beat the Bengals in Cincinnati for me does
I
Chargers
can't.
ahead.
Okay.
Okay, so I had this a little bit differently. Just below Chargers and Bengals, I had the Colts.
Wow.
Ooh.
I've got the Colts next.
I've got Colts in
11.
single figures.
I've got Colts in single figures.
9 to the lowest one.
Actually, saying that, though, I've read more evidence on it now that I'd happily go lower on it because I feel like they do have some big flaws that you can, what's the word? Like, you can single out a problem and just dig into it.
I think the biggest question mark for me on the Bengals right now is whether Burrow's going to still be healthy because he messed his hand up a bit, didn't he, in that game? And I think if he has messed his hand up, then that's the end of them. That's their season done.
I'd happily put Bengals next because I think out of those three teams, they're definitely the bottom, especially with Burrow's hand.
Okay, I could agree with that. Don't know about you two.
So where are they going?
Whatever the next spot is Bengals.
The next spot is 13.
Yeah.
So out of them three teams, you'd put Bengals the bottom of them three teams.
Chargers and Colts.
What, that'll be Colts at 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I can, but I've got them above both the Rams and the Titans.
I have them above the Cowboys, the Rams, and the Titans.
So my next team is Cowboys, and then the Rams.
Oh,
no, it's not.
We're good.
It's Cowboys and then the Ravens.
Oh, actually, yeah, I'm really high on the Ravens because I've not properly adjusted my chart yet.
Yeah, I just realised that also.
So I've got we're going into the top 10 now. At number 10, I've got Cowboys. At number 9, I've got Ravens.
I'm talking about 11. I'd put the Ravens. Sorry, I put them below the Colts right now.
So we've just I keep forgetting what numbers we've just done.
Yes. So we had Bengals at 13. We had Colts at 12.
Chargers at 12.
No, Chargers at 12, and then we had Colts at 11.
Cool. Yep. Okay. So I've got Titans next.
I've also got Titans next.
So I've got Titans at 8.
What have you got, Titans, Adam?
I have the Titans at 9.
So 10's a good spot for them then.
Okay.
I have the Rams and the Cowboys below this.
See, I've got the Rams at 10.
I've got the Rams at 8.
I've got the Rams at 4. Ooh, I've got them much higher.
See, that's the problem with this whole thing, right? Is because the top 10, you could argue that the number 10 could be in the top 5 and number 5 could be in like number 10. It's so tight at the top.
If that's the case, do you all want to just, because there's obviously a lot of teams, you all want to reel off what your top 10 is, and we'll take it from there.
Okay. What, going from 10 up?
Yeah. Before we do that, can you just give me 2 seconds? I think someone's at my front door. Sorry.
All good. Well, okay.
Oh, mate, I'm still in disagreement about the Colts. I don't think the Colts will be at 11.
Nor do I. Mate, I'm really high on them.
I've Colts at 7.
7.
I'm really worried the Colts are going to go and make a run. My only drawback of it is, whilst Wentz is doing sufficient enough to put them forward, where I don't think he's shown a game that he can win a playoff game if he has to do it. Where they rely on Jonathan Taylor, which makes sense. It's what the Titans were doing until he got injured. Like, they are doing a fantastic job of just relying on the run, but that's all they can really do. Their defense is good enough to be a playoff caliber defense. But I think if Wentz has to win a game for them, he could win it. He might have it in him. But if he's playing like, I don't know, it'll be NFC. No, it's AFC. Imagine if he's got to play the Patriots defense in the playoff. Like, he's gonna fucking struggle.
This is all gonna come into my stuff later.
Yeah, so this is really interesting. I want to see who you drop out of your top 10. We'll wait till Craig comes back to this to fit in the conference. I can't see anybody in my top 10 that you could drop out.
Person I would drop out here would be the Titans. I think they're two injured right now without Derek, and AJ Brown's on and off. Julio Jones is on and off. Like,
they just,
when they've got them, they're great.
But they've had amazing, like they've beaten big teams.
Yeah, they've done
well. But they
have
have fallen off recently, and I think it's hurt them hard.
Yeah, I would want to put the Titans at 11th and then the Colts at. Even then, I'd want the Colts higher, but I'd be happy with them being higher than the Titans.
Yeah, that's for me. That's the sort of way around I want that.
Yeah, convince me. We'll see what Craig thinks, but I'm going to go with you on that.
Yeah.
I had the Cowboys at 11 originally, but I think that's more just out of spite.
I've got the Cowboys a bit higher.
Yeah, I have too. I've got really high.
I'm interested for the top 5. My top 5, in my head, I'm like, that's the top 5. But now someone mentioned someone's at 4.
Sorry, I'm back.
Craig, we've been chatting.
Okay.
We don't think the Colts should be at 11. We think the Titans should be at 11 with the Colts at 10. Because if you put the Colts against the Titans right now, with all the Titans injuries, the Colts probably win that.
Okay, I could get behind that.
Okay.
Cool. Right, so 9. So I had the Colts at 9, but my next team would be the Rams at 9.
My next team would be the Rams.
And the Ravens then would be the next team.
Oh shit! No, we forgot about the Ravens.
So I've got the Bills at 9.
Yeah.
You got the Bills at 9.
Okay, so I've got Ravens at 9, Cowboys at 10.
I put Ravens here, I think.
Yeah.
So you think the
I've got Ravens at 7, so I'm happy to put them at 9.
Yeah.
I think with the Marlon Humphrey injury, that could be the straw that breaks the camel back.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what's done it for me as well.
You've lost now 2 all-pro receiver cornerbacks. I think you've survived without one, but when you can't get any coverage on the back end, the defense just falls apart.
We've got to hit the waiver wire, but with next to no cap room, so it's going to be difficult.
So we've got Ravens at 9. So I think now it's between the Rams, the Bills, and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So I've got Cowboys. I had below this. So I've got Cowboys, then Bills, and then I've got Pats at 6.
Oh no, I've got Pats high.
Yeah, I've got Pats at 4.
I've got
at 3. Rams at 8 for me.
Yeah, I think it's hard because the Rams have the better team on paper, but sometimes they just lose. Sometimes they just don't look good.
Yeah.
So are we looking for Rams or Cowboys in this spot?
Cowboys.
I've got Cowboys at 6.
But the Cowboys have just lost some questionable games as well.
Yeah.
But they've had injuries. That team comes together when they play together.
Yeah.
They're good because if you think about it, they nearly beat. It was a close game against the Raiders, and they didn't have CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper. In that
CeeDee
game.
is so huge.
What's his chops? Randy Gregory. He wasn't playing either.
He's back now as well.
Yeah.
I would say that out of everyone that's left that I've got on my list, I would say the 2 biggest liabilities on that list are the Bills and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I had the Bills at number 9.
Ooh, Bills at 6.
Yeah, I think the Bills are struggling without Tre'Davious White, and they're losing it, slipping.
McDermott's losing his head. That's lovely to see.
I'd go with Craig there. Cowboys, Bills, Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So Cowboys 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Bills and then Rams.
Yeah.
Are the Rams above them? The Rams above the Bills, do you reckon?
I would say so.
I thought so.
Yeah, I think they win it.
I think the Bills are going backwards.
Yeah.
So I'm finally caught up on my list of ones that I have not actually said.
So where are we up to now? Was that 6 that we?
That's 6. So we're into the top 5.
Yeah. Should we say our top 5 in order?
Yeah, go on in.
Right.
Okay.
So I'll go. So I've got 5 Chiefs, 4 Pats. I've got 3 Packers, 2 Bucks, 1 Cards.
Okay. Mine are a little bit different. So at 5 now I would have the Pats, then I would have the Chiefs, then I would have the Bucks, then I'd have the Cards, and then I'd have the Packers.
High on the Bucks. I'd have the Bucks at 5 here.
Ooh.
I just think they're so injured as well that they've got Brady, they're a few injuries away from just dying.
So I've got the Pats at 5, Cards at 4, Bucks at 3, Chiefs at 2, Packers at 1.
I mean, I've got Chiefs at 5, but I want to swap that. Bucks at 5, Chiefs at 4, Pats at 3, Packers at 2, Cardinals at 1.
See, I can get behind Packers at 1. That was what my original, but for me, it was the Cards, the fact that they're 10-2 after not having Kyler Murray and Nuke for like 2-3 weeks, and then they're still up there, and they just came back and tore the Bears. I know the Bears are shit and we've got them down low, but I don't know. For me, do I think they would make the Super Bowl? No, but I think they're the best team overall. Their defense is highly underrated as well.
I'd have the Cardinals at top if I could.
But I can get the Packers. For me, I have got the Bucks at 2 because it's Tom Brady and he's MVP favorite at the moment, and they just seem to be clicking a bit into place at the right time again. But I don't know. But for me, I think it's those 3 NFC teams are the top 3.
But I still think the Chiefs, although they're not as good as they were,
Chiefs
it's hard to be that good. They're still a good team.
The record is still good, and they've consistently found ways to win.
Better, like they struggled early on with a terrible defense. Whatever's happened, it's working now because they're beating teams with their defense as well.
I think the reason why I've got the Pats so low is they've got, like, last week's win was hugely down to, I think, was just Bill's mind. Like, they got fortunate that, like, due to the weather and everything else, and that team, like, they were struggling against the run. Like, you've got such a good run game, but if you get forced to throw the ball and you have to throw the ball, I don't think you've got the receivers and the experience in Mac Jones to get the job done.
See, I disagree in the fact that Bill game plans to take that into consideration and turns the game for that to be in our favor. Yeah, I don't know. I feel now if someone goes to me, goes, right, you've got to play the Chiefs AFC Championship in Arrowhead, I would be fairly confident we'd win that game. Genuinely, that's how I feel at the moment.
Yeah, Bill's now easily my favorite head coach to watch because he's so smart. Like, everything he does for a reason, and like the level he goes to outplan other people is just. It's almost like he's just having fun and just playing a game at this point because he's got all the accolades. He's there like, how much can I screw with the Bills? I'm going to pass it 3 times in a blizzard.
Yeah, but going back on what I just said, I do feel the Chiefs are a different team this year. They're not quite. I feel the Chiefs can get a lot better than what they are, and they are getting wins at the moment with what they're doing. So I've got the Chiefs at 5, Pats at 4, but I would happily switch them around.
I think I'd be willing to drop on the Pats purely because if I think when it comes to a playoff point of view, their personnel level, like the talent level you guys have got is not, the ceiling's not high enough. Like, you've got a fantastically high floor because you've got Bill coaching everyone, but you don't have a Tyreek Hill, you don't have a Mike Evans, you don't have a Devontae Adams. Like, your best catchers, like Kendrick Bourne or something like.
Yeah, I've got the Pats at 5 because I just don't know yet if Matt can win a game for them if they need to. If they're coming from behind, has he got what it takes to win a game? That's why I've got, and we're talking top 5 here. You know,
that's my biggest concern. Like, is if they fall behind, because a lot of these other teams are explosive. I think you play the long game, and if you just to fall behind at any point, I think it'd be a struggle for you to come back from what I've just seen at the moment. That's just my opinion. Like,
no, that's fair. I just got a lot of faith in our defense to be able to make those game-changing sort of moves. For me, I understand what you mean. I don't think, Mac's not there to do it by himself at all. But
we say Pats at 5 then.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd want the Bucks at 4. I just think their secondary's so injured, man. They haven't got a secondary. They've got a third.
Yeah, I've got a 3, so I'm happy to put them at 4.
Yeah, I've got Bucks at 3, so I'll put them at 4 as well.
I think if the Chiefs played the Bucks at this point, I mean, I think the Packers and Cardinals are the top 2.
Yes, I agree.
But if the Chiefs played the Bucks right now, I think the Chiefs would win.
I disagree, only because I just having their number from the Super Bowl and all of that. I think they can. I know their secondaries, as you say, banged up, and they can't play the same game they played. But I don't know.
Tom Brady's had some shot. Like, he's thrown so many pick sixes, I swear, this season. Like, he seems to get intercepted a lot.
And he's still MVP favorite. It's nuts.
They just lost to Washington.
Yeah, they did.
So that settled our top 3 as well, then. So is it Chiefs, Cards, Packers?
Yeah, I'm happy to put Chiefs at 4 or 3. I'm fine with that. the top two's the tough one.
Yeah, I think it's Team Adam and Joe against Craig.
So who did we have it for? Sorry, was it
Bucks?
Bucks and then Chiefs at 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Packers,
So-
Cardinals.
I went with Packers at 1. I think Tim, you also went
Yeah.
Packers at 1. Did you both go Cards at 1?
Yeah.
Okay, so 50-50 split, fair. I mean, Cardinals do have the better record. I just think there's more, I don't know, a bit more experience, I'd say, on that Packers side. I think if you were having to go and play through Lambeau as well, they've also got to take that into account. That's a big home field advantage if they get one, huge one. And then their defense has been spot on as well. Like,
and I think Aaron Rodgers, when it comes to a single game, if the Cards played the Packers, I'd be more confident in Aaron Rodgers to outplay Kyler Murray, outthink him. You know, a number of times Aaron Rodgers has made clever decisions. I don't know if Kyler Murray's there yet, and he could obviously get injured at any time.
I think the Cardinals' defense is sneaky good, though. Like,
it's not even
sneaky
good. It's a
good.
top. I think it's a top 3
I think
defense.
the Packers linebacker, like their top linebacker, got injured the other week. Well, am I thinking?
Thing is, the whole
so
point of this.
Smith's out.
Yeah.
And David, is that his name?
So Smith's out. He's one of their best linebackers.
If this came down to it, though, these two face each other off. I put Cardinals up there because of their record, and as I mentioned, they did well without Kyler, and now they're doing even better now he's back. But I do think Lambeau or in Arizona, I think the Packers win. I'm kind of going towards the Packers.
So who wins in Arizona?
Packers.
Okay.
I really do. I just think you mentioned the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt LaFleur is a bloody good coach. I don't think he gets as much sort of rep as he deserves.
I think Cliff Kingsbury's a great coach as well. He's shown he's got it.
And he's cool.
He's cool.
That gives us some points for the Cards. Yeah.
It's tough.
It's so tough.
I mean, Cards, you could probably argue the Cards have got the more stacked roster. I just think the Packers are a bit more, I don't know. I just give it more to them. I think more through experience, more through through more that side of it.
Packers center's just gone out for the season as well. Elkton Jenkins.
Adam, I think I'm going to have to jump ship.
Okay. Now, I agree that it is a very razor thin line, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's it. We've got a power ranking. They will be up on the screen here. We'll get them out on the social medias as well. So one of us can make a nice little graphic for it. You can let us know what you think, where you think we've got people too high or too low, because I'm sure each of us has got some names in there that are completely apart from where we originally had them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to seeding of the AFC and the NFC. So 7 playoff games. Those who are not aware, each division gets the top of the division becomes top 4 seeds as per record. And then the 3 wild cards are just filled with the next 3 best records. And it gets lovely and complex with tiebreakers and people who win head-to-head victories and stuff. And I don't think it's been anywhere near this close or this hard to predict in at least since I've been watching football.
No, it's definitely
Craig and the 30, 40 years experience they've got. I've seen it a few times.
No, it's definitely as close as I've ever seen it. Like, it's tough. Anyone could beat anyone. I seen a graphic the other day that with the Lions' first win now, the circle is complete and everyone has beaten everyone at least once this season. So yeah.
Right. I've written down all the remaining schedules. I got quite into this one. So we can go through them as we're going through the arguments for each. But should we go through our seedings 7 upwards?
Are we starting with AFC or NFC?
AFC, alphabetical.
So are we doing the same as in we think we're going to make a list of what we think the seedings is together?
We could do. We could do that. That'd be interesting, I guess.
Because, we're looking towards the end of the season, so it's sort of different.
Okay, then let's do that.
Should we do wild cards? Do like who we think the 3 are, and then work out the order after that. Or
That's a good idea. Yeah, probably how we end up doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Craig, what's your 3 AFC wild cards?
So my 3 AFC wild cards, I've got Ravens, Bills, and Chargers.
Snap. I have that exact order as well.
Yeah, I've got that. Yeah, that order.
Interesting. Joe? I've got Bills, Colts, and Chargers.
I've got Bills, Colts, and Bengals.
Okay.
So to instantly reply to you, Tim, I had to think about this. I think the Bengals take the first seed.
I've got Bengals taking the first seed. I think that's the final nail in the coffin.
Not first overall, sorry, like the top AFC North seed.
Yeah, I think Bengals take the AFC North now. Like, our schedule is brutal, and we're so banged up, and our offense is so just in a funk.
Does it have easier than the Bengals schedule then?
I'll read you out the Ravens and the Bengals schedules. Okay. Listen to this. It's horrendous. Here's the Bengals. Versus 49ers at home. Nice and easy. That's a pretty good game. At Broncos. Meh. Versus Ravens. So there you go. Versus Chiefs. Ooh. At Browns. This is the Ravens. Bearing in mind, these are all pretty much brutal rivalry games as well. You got at Browns versus Packers, at the Bengals versus the Rams versus the Steelers.
Okay.
And
I think we're lucky
to do is basically beat the Ravens and then win another game.
Well, I think we're lucky if we take one of them games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with going what you had then.
Okay. I can't remember what you said at the end of yours, Tim, but does that mean that am I the only one to have 2 AFC South teams making the playoffs?
No.
I have the Colts making the playoffs.
Yeah, I've got the Colts.
You got the cut call. Yeah, you do. All right. Because I had the Titans winning the South.
Yeah.
I've got Titans winning as well.
I got the Titans winning. Just so if you haven't, the Colts schedule is probably the hardest remaining. Actually, it's got 2 very hard games.
It is tough.
Versus Pats, which is going to be brutal. At Cardinals, brutal. Versus the Raiders. Who knows what the Raiders are doing at that point. And then at Jags, because the Colts always seemingly lose to the Jags this season. So that is their trap game. And I think they need to win 3 of those. Because what are they at now? They're at 7-6. Yeah. If they get to 10 wins, I'd say they get into that. But I don't think they win one of those games against the Raiders or Jags.
It's tough, isn't it? That's really tough, actually.
I think they could be in the playoffs. They could win, but who else are arguing? Me and Craig are arguing Bills and Chargers.
Let's see who we're all in agreement. So we're all in agreement with Bills as a wild card. Yeah. Okay. So there's one. Are we all in agreement that the Chargers make it in as a wild card?
I'll go with that. Yep.
Yeah, I've got Chargers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So it's that last spot then that we're all in disagreement with. I had Ravens. You've got Colts, and we've got who's the other one?
Bengals, was it?
Bengals. Okay.
I have the Ravens in there and Colts missing out, but I could understand the flip side as well.
That Colts is that schedule was difficult. I didn't realize it was that bad. The Colts was my surprise as well. So I kind of need. I think an AFC North team would make more sense. Bengals or Ravens, really, isn't it?
I could get the Colts. So if the Colts win 2, so what? The Ravens are sitting at 8-4. The Colts are sitting at 7-6. The Colts have got 4 games left. They could split them or win 3 of them. And the Ravens have to win at least. Ravens have to beat the Browns. I'd say this is the most realistic. Beating the Browns, then they beat the Bengals, and then they beat the Steelers and losing to the Rams and Packers. Because the Ravens, every single AFC North game is a brutal game. They're always hard to call, though. That's the thing. I don't know.
That is tough. That's really tough. Last spot.
I guess I don't know. I guess the big thing is to take into account is who you think who's winning the AFC.
Yeah.
You've beaten the Colts, haven't you, this year, Craig?
Yeah.
So if you have the tiebreaker, because if you guys end up with the same record, you get in. I'll take the Ravens for that reason alone.
Yeah, that's going to be massive now, isn't it? Especially going into this. Yeah, I agree with that.
Tim, you're very
I'm
quiet.
fine with that.
Okay.
Okay, so well, who have we got?
We've got Bills, Chargers, and Ravens.
Yep.
So I guess that leaves us with our winners. Who have we got as winning? I've got Chiefs, Titans, Pats, and Bengals.
Same.
Exactly the same if we
Yeah,
switch
same
the
there.
Bengals.
Yep.
Okay.
We had the exact same playoff bracket.
Okay. Sound.
Who did you have the 1 seed? Just out of curiosity.
I've got the Titans there, but I think that'll probably. I think I was a bit more high on them when I was writing this. I'd probably put the Chiefs.
I've gone Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
I've gone
Yeah,
Chiefs.
I've got
Their
Chiefs.
schedule's nice.
Yeah.
Who's the Chiefs got? They've got at Raiders, at Chargers, versus Steelers, at Bengals, at Broncos.
Compared to others.
Yeah.
Oh, so no, this is why I gave the Titans the first seed. Look at their schedule. Versus the Jags, at the Steelers, versus the 49ers, versus the Dolphins, at the Texans.
And that's why I put Titans at 2 instead of Pats, because I think they've got the easier run of games compared to the Patriots.
We've got Colts, Bills, Jags, Dolphins. So that Dolphins game will be pretty intense, I reckon.
Yeah, that'd be toughy.
But I think the Patriots arguably probably the better team out of the two. But I just think the Titans have got the easier run, so they might finish with the better record.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't see that Titan schedule. It's nice.
What we're saying? What 4 is Bengals?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. NFC then.
Okay. NFC, yeah. Wild cards. Tim, who do you have?
I've got the Rams, 49ers, and Washington.
Ooh.
No, hang on, that can't be right. No, that's not right. Oh no, there it is, right? Yes, right. Sorry.
Okay, Joe.
I've got the Rams, 49ers, and the Philadelphia Eagles.
I've got Rams, 49ers, Eagles, same. I've got Eagles as the 7, 49ers as the 6, Rams as the 5.
Snap.
I am surprised I've got one of these teams in here after our power rankings.
Bloody Bears.
No, not the Bears. Same division. I've got the Rams, the Vikings, and the Cowboys.
Ooh, okay. Cowboys, hello.
Okay. I've got Cowboys taking a division of 4.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd be spicy and put the Eagles over the Cowboys because I've got a big bias.
You did have them going 13-4, to be fair, at the beginning of the season.
Pretty optimistic then.
At the moment, the Eagles are 6 and 7, and the Cowboys are 8 and 4. So the Eagles are going to catch the Cowboys
and overtake Washington.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the teams we've got there. I've got their schedules. So Eagles have got. I mean, if you haven't heard,
I looked into this, and all 3, they're all. It's all NFC East games.
All NFC East games, and you mocked me in our preseason episodes, but I'm telling you, game of the week, baby. Okay, Eagles have got versus Washington, versus Giants, at Washington, versus Cowboys. So NFL keeps saying it. We're not getting on a plane, and it's all them games. Washington is Cowboys. I haven't actually got it written down, but I'm just looking at it. It'd be Washington. So Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, some Eagles again, or something like that. So it's all very incestuous. And then the Cowboys have got Washington Giants, Washington Cardinals, Eagles. So the Cowboys have got one very hard game in there, which you could, let's say that's a loss. That brings them. So let's do it like this. So Washington are sitting at 6 and 6. Eagles are sitting 6 and 7. The Cowboys are sitting at 8 and 4. So you count that loss for the Cowboys. So say they're at 8 and 5. And let's say Washington and Philadelphia split it. So they're going to be it'll be 8 and 5 versus 7 and 6 and 7. Well, it'll be one game between them. It's getting confusing now.
I think usually Frog Washington. I think Cowboys still take the division.
Yeah, I am just arguing for the sake of spite. Yeah, I agree. The Cowboys are more likely to win the division. I think we've got like a 1% chance. But...
Yeah.
So we're going Rams, 49ers, Eagles. Or was there another team thrown in there?
I just think Washington have got pictures of Goodell that he doesn't want to see, so he'll do his damnedest for the referees to get Washington into the playoffs. But I'll go with.
Do you think Washington take the Eagles?
Yeah. I thought it looked okay against us.
They're a good team, Washington. They're really growing. They've won like 5 in a row or something.
Yeah, but my argument for that is you don't want to rely on Tyler Heineke. Like, they are winning games. They are winning. Like the Bucks game was bloody great, but like, I don't trust in him every single week.
Yeah, no. He's got it though. He has got it.
To argue against the 49ers being in here, they've got to play the Bengals, the Falcons, the Titans, the Texans, which is a win, and the Rams. So they've got 3 hard games, and the Falcons who could surprise them because the 49ers have been very up and down.
I think compared to some of the teams, I don't think that's that rough of a schedule, though.
What are they on? They're on 6-6 as well, aren't they?
And they would be the lowest seed, I think, to make.
I'm happy to leave the Vikings out, just FYI.
I had them in if we did this last week, but
they're on 5 wins.
They're 5 and 7.
I think that's too far back now.
6-6.
Okay. Maybe not then.
And here's who they play: at Steelers, at Bears, versus Rams, at Packers, versus Bears. The 2 Bears games and the Steelers game.
Yeah, potentially they could sneak in with them.
Yeah, 9 wins will get you there. Just depends on your tiebreakers.
Yeah.
I think the 49ers are better than the Vikings. I think the Vikings have it easier than the 49ers, though.
The Rams, 49ers, Eagles, then.
I'd be okay with that.
So no Vikings.
No.
Yeah, we can leave that, I guess. They are a pretty terrible team right now. They're going to go and fucking win Super Bowl now. Okay, so are we all in agreement that 4th is Cowboys then?
Yeah.
Yep.
We already know who the next ones are because they are top 3. Bucks, Cardinals.
Yeah.
I've
got Cardinals at 1 seed.
I have Cardinals at 1 seed.
And then Packers and then Bucks.
I've got I've got Bucks as 1 seed. I just got a good feeling about them again.
Bucks have got a very easy schedule as well.
Apart from Bills.
Versus Bills, versus Saints, at Panthers, at Jets, versus Panthers.
Didn't the Saints beat them?
When they had
James, yeah.
I know they beat him with Trevor, didn't they? That was their first Trevor game.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, Jameis went out in that game, I think.
Okay.
I'm looking at what I've done, but with the Cards at 10-2, I'm quite happy for them to be number 1. Because obviously this is based on records. So I'd put Cards 1.
I've looked at this based on records. I've gone Cards, Pats, Bucks, Cowboys.
Just for the record, Cardinals go versus Rams, at Lions, versus Colts, at Cowboys, versus Seahawks. So just a couple of hard, couple of easy games. And the Packers have it pretty smooth sailing versus Bears, at Ravens, versus Browns, versus Vikings, at Lions.
Yeah.
So I could see the Packers taking the number 1 seed as well pretty easily.
Yeah.
Took a Bucks, it's race stuff, really. Do we need to put numbers on?
Nah.
We don't have to.
Yeah.
Cool. There you go. Let us know who you think we missed out. If you think the Vikings or Washington should be in there and why. Okay. Super Bowl prediction, boys. And with how this has all turned out, I think mine looks really accurate.
Okay, who is it then?
I got Chiefs versus Cardinals with the Chiefs win.
And who did you have originally?
I think it was like Bills. Is it the Bills Browns or Bills Packers or something like that?
I've got Chiefs Packers, and I think I picked Chiefs 49ers.
I've got, same as you, I've got Chiefs Packers, and I picked Packers Browns. So I got 1 right.
I'm a man full of belief. I've got Patriots Packers with the Packers winning. But I had Bills 49ers, I think, at the beginning of the season, so not a good look.
There's still potential playoff teams.
Yeah, could happen. 2 wildcard teams.
Well, I think in my predictions originally preseason, I had 49ers going in as a wild card, but then sneaking through to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
still on the table. Still could happen.
Yeah, that could happen, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if it was Patriots Buccaneers, like you couldn't actually write it.
Yeah.
That'd be
if hell. It is, the NFL is scripted. Like there's no right.
How are we doing for time?
We're up for an hour and a half.
In now.
Okay.
Hour and 20, yeah, I think.
Okay, I'll call it there. I'll save it for another week. I've got a topic for discussion I wanted your opinions on, but I'll leave it for next time.
Well, we've still got our surprising things, so if it fits in with there, you can do it, mate.
Probably not, but go on.
Surprise, yes. So everyone's brought a surprising thing. Hopefully, we haven't mirrored anyone. Who would like to go first with surprising things of the season?
The Patriots.
Is that yours?
Yeah, genuinely. Like, I did not see them having anywhere near as good as the season as they've had, and they've been really impressive to watch. Like, yeah, like I knew they were going to be better, but I don't think anyone realized just how good they were going to be.
And so, Joe, as somebody who watches them every week, what is it you think that people didn't expect to be happening that is happening?
Obviously, Mac Jones is one massive thing. No one sort of expected him to be so level-headed and kind of drilled into the. I had some people say there's not such a thing as a Patriot way, but there is. You know, it's just being well drilled, knowing what your job is. You know, you are just a part of this team, of this cog. You're just a cog in the machine. You're not the star man. So for him coming in and doing that is brilliant. I think our defense, especially our pass rush, has sort of been a massive. Like Judon has been, for me, he's one of the best free agency signings. He's been amazing. He's probably my favorite player at the moment. Can't knock him, especially with his long red sleeves on. He's obviously always noticeable. And Christian Barmore as well, who has come in. He's been fantastic. I just think it's elements. We've become that team that Bill likes us to be, like sort of efficient quarterback play, run heavy. You know, Damien Harris has been brilliant. Ramondre Stevenson has come into his own in the last 4 or 5 weeks. And our defense is just very strong. We've let in, I think it was 36 points in the last 5 games. So I know we had that, obviously the game against the Bills was a bit of the weather kind of cancelled out a lot of points happening there. But, we've just gone back to basics, really. And I wasn't old enough to watch us in 2001, but everyone's just saying it's almost a carbon copy of what we were like back then.
I think the one thing that the Patriots do really well is it's not about individuals and stats. It's not about numbers. It's not about like, every week I'm pulling in like 15 catches for like 100 and something yards. Like you find every player on an offense has 1 or 2 big games a year, and he uses them when he comes up against a team that it's a good idea to use them. Like they're in that part of the game plan that week.
And I think as well, Craig, the players know if they make a mistake, they're out.
Yeah.
So they don't make mistakes, because you've seen it so many times. The running back fumbles, and then that's him. You haven't seen him for the rest of the game. He's out. So they are so well drilled at not making mistakes.
Yeah, and that is one thing as well. It's just that mentality and having you have to have the right people in that place. Like some people were almost calling out Mac Jones for only throwing the ball 3 times, and then you'd find a lot of quarterbacks would be a bit peed off. If your coach only allows you to throw the ball 3 times, you'd be like, what the hell? Like, you don't think Matt Jones just straight up, I don't care. Like if we score more points than them, I'm happy. Doesn't matter. And that's just having that mentality is what is so good, and just equals hopefully success.
See the little comment Bill made, and they were like, how come you just didn't pass at all? He was like, well, it's great now because the Bills don't know our passing game.
Why change it? Like if it's working, like what's the point of changing it up?
Okay, so Craig's surprising thing was the Patriots. Joe, what's yours?
Well, I kind of misjudged this one. I thought this was a surprising prediction that was going to happen.
Okay. That's fine.
And it kind of goes against what we just did with the thing. But I had the prediction of the Indianapolis Colts going to the AFC Championship game. I don't know who they're going to. I think if they get into the playoffs, I think they're just one of those teams that can turn up and just run you to death. They're just that sort of team. Jonathan Taylor, if Jonathan Taylor was a quarterback, he would be MVP runaway. He's been that good this year. For me, that team, they started off poorly. And I can even say, for me, just their turnaround in the second half of the season, they are this team that can beat anyone. And their record doesn't quite say it. They're 7-6, and they've got a lot of tough games coming up, which is why we excluded them from our AFC. But I don't know. It's just Carson Wentz, I think, has been good enough. He's had a good season in my opinion. And I just think they are a team that can cause trouble. You look at that AFC as someone who supports the team in AFC. I look at who we've put in, who's going to the playoffs. But if we got the Colts home or away, I'm a bit worried, because I feel as if they are a team that on their day, they get their things going. They could go, they can go as far as they want, really.
Yeah, I think you're right in the sense that they could be one of those 2007 Giants, 2017 Eagles, where you have just the momentum and something that works, you just keep doing it. And you're right, they could make it through. I think if they just ride Jonathan Taylor literally. But I think in the playoffs, that's when you encounter the harder coaches and the teams that know how to beat you. And if they end up going they're AFC, so they could end up playing.
They remind me a lot of last season's Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it'll only get you so far.
If a team can figure out how to stop JT, I think that offense will crumble. And they've got the chance of playing Sean McDermott, who outside of last week is a very good defensive-minded coach.
Yeah, but they ran 5 touchdowns on the Bills when they played them last. That's the thing. That's for me. That's why I think their offense is so high-powered. That's why I give them that edge. I think they can do something.
I specifically, if they encounter Bill, I think Bill's going to be his kryptonite, and he's going to figure out a way to pretty easily beat the Colts.
I hope so, but you never know.
Okay, Tim, what's your surprising thing?
My surprising thing is the fall of the Seahawks. Ooh. Now, I know they've had injuries, but it looks like it's coming to an end of an era with Pete Carroll. Because if you look at the record, 2019, 11-5, 2020, 12-4, and at the moment they're 4-8. So it could be head. I think this will be the first losing season since Carroll's been coach. I think. I'm sure I read that somewhere. And yes, Russell Wilson's been injured. Jamal Adams, we talked about earlier, that trade's been a disaster for that team because they've just lost bits in other places. So yeah, my surprise has been how bad the Seahawks have been.
Yeah, I think if they lose Bobby Wagner, who has been playing for a long time now, that defense has got nothing.
Yeah. Pete Carroll's 70. This could very well be the season that the team's you can either quit or we're going to fire you.
And their O-line is pretty bad. It's a consistent theme every single season. That O-line is bad. But then if it's still bad, you would then use them picks or that money to beef up other areas. And other than having Lockett and Metcalf, who I think Metcalf can be a bit inconsistent, he's turning into a bit of an OBJ, then who have you got? You know what I mean? What have you got to show for it?
And I was talking with some Seahawks fans before, and what they brought up was the biggest issue is they have got no talent acquisition. Outside of 1 or 2 good drafts they had in the early noughties where they did pick up the Legion of Boom and they had this unbelievable draft where they get Bobby Wagner and all this. Since then, it's been pretty good. They got DK Metcalf, he was really good for a season, but like you said, now a bit inconsistent. They did get Russ really letting around, and that was brilliant. But outside of that, they don't pick up much talent in the draft or in trades. And this is the result of it. Maybe the Jamal Adams trade was the straw that broke the camel's back, and they've got we've got no drafts for next year.
Yeah. Do you reckon so I believe they're more than likely going to part with Pete Carroll at the end of this year. Do you think it'll be the end of Russ as well? Do you think it's just going to be a complete restart? Is that a kind of relationship that's breaking down? Is it going to hit the point where it's past repair?
I think if the Seahawks get an offer for him, that a good one, they'll take it. But otherwise, they'll try and hire a coach that will appease him.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't see them.
Coach.
Yeah,
I can't see them getting rid of him.
It is too risky. Franchise quarterbacks, man, they're fucking hard to come by. And if they've got one, there's arguments that he's tailed off in the year or two. It's but his whole team's tailed off, as we just said.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's only so much carrying he can do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and my surprise of the season is the number of backup quarterbacks we've seen. I did go back into future years, but my God, it's really hard to navigate on some of the sites, so I didn't get too much information. But I got all the quarterbacks that have started this year that were not a starting quarterback going into it, and there's a shocking amount of names. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 teams have at least had to start a backup at least once. I think it maybe contributes to the parity of the league right now because I think every major team's had to start a backup at least once. Some of the really big ones, Packers, obviously, Aaron Rodgers with the COVID situation. Jordan Love had to start one. Dak was out for a game with a calf injury.
Lamar was out for one.
With his tummy issues. Cardinals had Colt McCoy start 3 games, and I think they won 2 of them, which is pretty nuts. Steelers aren't really. I mean, I'll just go for the other ones. So Lions had Tim Boyle start a game. Steelers had Mason Rudolph start a game. Eagles have had Minshew. Panthers have had Cam Newton start 2 and PJ Walker start 1. Trey Lance started a game for the 49ers. Mike Glennon's in for a second. Oh, he's not. He's in for 1 game, and now they're on. What's his name?
Jake from State Farm.
Mike Friedman, yeah. Seahawks have had Geno Smith start 3 games. The Jets have had Mike White start 3 and Joe Flacco start a game. The Saints are all over the place. They've had Trevor Siemian with 4 starts and Hill with 1, but he's injured again. Texans have Davis Mills and Tyrod split in 6 games each, and I think Tyrod's just injured his wrist again. Baker Mayfield started a game for the Browns. Justin Fields is technically a backup. And yeah, I mean, like it's every single week there's a couple of backup quarterbacks starting, and there's been lots of stories about it.
Washington as well. Heineke's the backup.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going to write that down. Yeah, Heineke's the backup. And it's shown that some quarterbacks could be contending. Like, obviously, there's a Minshew mania off 1 game of him. Heineke's pretty much locked in another year. Daniel Jones, will they move on from him if his neck injury is severe? Like, do they want to keep? They've got the draft capital to pick up a quarterback, but they've got so many other holes. Davis Mills, maybe someone wants to take a flyer on him because he's not been doing good. He's been doing good for what's on a shit team.
Well, we've got Marcus Mariota sitting there doing nothing, so
yeah,
he could start for it. Can you imagine him with the Saints, for example?
Yeah.
And then, as you guys said about Russ, like a lot of these teams, like Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, they're the names that people. I mean, Big Ben's already said, we should have mentioned this at the beginning. He's pretty much.
Oh yeah.
He's done.
Be with the Steelers.
Yeah. It's a long time coming.
Like,
so the thing is,
he's saying goodbye to Lamar on the field.
I'm going off on a slight tangent here as well. It's a terrible year to need a quarterback. There are not a lot of the drafts, and I know what will happen is that the quarterbacks will get drafted really high, but it is not a very good quarterback year in the draft this year.
No.
As an AFC North team, that's not a bad thing. Seeing him go and having to play Mason Rudolph twice a season, potentially 3 times, I can live with that.
What if Steelers got Russ?
I think that would be rough because they do have some good receivers. As much as I don't like some of their receivers, they are really good. Deontay Johnson's quality. I don't like Claypool. He's an arsehole.
Their receivers are just good.
Yeah, they are good.
Adam, do you reckon you're going to get any offers for Minshew in the off-season?
Oh, offers for Minshew, I think so. But I think there'd have to be a good offer to take him. Like, we've got him for another year for cheap, and he's shown he's a very serviceable backup.
He's a great player. Like, you can
so fucking fun to watch.
And also look at it. Like, look how Trevor Lawrence is struggling in Jacksonville. I know it was under different coaching, but Minshew was in a tough spot in Jacksonville, and he still did well. Yeah. He deserves a starting spot somewhere. Like, you know, even if the Steelers took a punt on him next year, I would quite enjoy to see something like that.
But I'll tell you what, if there's one team that values a good backup quarterback, it is the Eagles.
It's very true.
We don't let ourselves have a shit one. I think we keep Minshew unless we get a good offer. But yeah, Steelers, you're right, would be in prime contention. Right, boys, we are nearly rolling to 100 minutes. So anything else that we want to do before we wrap up?
No, I think that's enough. We'll give everyone a break.
So we are planning on doing more segments, like a question box. We're going to have other surprises that I'm sure you'll enjoy, but with a question box. If you do have any questions about football, even if it's a basic question that you don't understand how something works, or if it's a really specific question you've got about Nathan Peterman, please do let us know, and we will get them answered every week. I hope you've enjoyed this new format. Please leave us feedback if you think we've gone on for too long about something, if we should include something that we're not doing, because we are making changes. We've done this based off the feedback. So you can catch us on all our social medias, which are what, Joe?
Yeah, our Twitter and Instagram are at TAFS_UK, and our Facebook is That American Football Show.
We're also going to be going all episodes on YouTube now, because I'm going to edit some graphs and we're going to put the power rankings in and cool, so it'll all be fun. But of course, we'll also get the media out on the normal podcasting ways. But you can find us on YouTube at That American Football Show, or on our website, thatamericanfootballshow.com. Make sure you head over to Lockdown Lids, because if you want good merchandise, there's good stuff on there. Anything you've seen recently, Craig?
They've got all the Christmas box up at the moment, so it's like £2 a ticket. They've got some huge names in them, so it's worth a point for a couple of quid.
Anything else before we get off, boys?
No,
Don't believe so.
Good stuff. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Make sure you keep your ears out for our Christmas special, which will be getting out around the holidays. But thanks for listening. Make sure you head over and check out our friends at EP Sports for all your NFL equipment needs, and we will see you next week.